There is a quiet strength within you that has never left, no matter how many times life has knocked you down, no matter how dark the road may have seemed. That strength is still there, and today you are being called not just to rise, but to make your biggest comeback yet. No matter what has happened, no matter how many tears you've cried, no matter how many times you felt lost, abandoned, or misunderstood, you are not broken. You are evolving. You are growing. You are becoming something deeper, something truer, something far more powerful than before. Life has a way of unfolding that doesn't always make sense while we're in it. Sometimes the most painful experiences are the ones that awaken us. They strip away the illusions. They tear down what we thought we needed so that we can finally come home to who we really are. It's not destruction, it's transformation. You may look at your life and see cracks. Maybe you see a heart that's been betrayed, dreams that didn't come true, time you feel you've wasted. But in those very places, those cracks, light is entering. You are not a mess. You are a masterpiece in motion. Becoming takes time. Becoming requires courage. And becoming often happens silently, beneath the surface, long before the results are visible. You see, there is a rhythm to healing, a divine timing. Just because you can't see the progress doesn't mean it's not happening. Just because you still feel hurt doesn't mean you haven't grown. Even the tree takes time to bloom after the seed is planted. And you, my dear, are blooming. Slowly, gently, faithfully. Every time you kept going when it would have been easier to quit, you were becoming. Every time you chose kindness over bitterness, you were becoming. Every time you stood back up, even with tears in your eyes, you were becoming. Becoming the version of yourself that's rooted in truth, not fear. A version of you that understands pain, but is no longer defined by it. You're not weak for feeling sadness. You're not broken for needing time to rest. You're not failing because things haven't gone the way you planned. Growth is not linear. Healing isn't always visible. And becoming is not always loud. Sometimes it's quiet, like a whisper reminding you to breathe again. The world may have told you that you're not enough, that you should be further along, that you should get over it by now. But that's not truth. Truth is gentler than that. Truth understands that healing takes as long as it takes, that there is no deadline for rediscovering your own light. Truth reminds you that your worth is not diminished because you've been through hard things. In fact, it's in those very challenges that your strength has been forged. What if your pain was not the end of your story, but the beginning of a deeper chapter? What if you are not being punished, but prepared? What if every heartbreak, every disappointment, every detour was lovingly guiding you back to your true self? You are not broken. You are being reassembled into something richer, more grounded, more powerful than before. Let go of the need to be perfect. Let go of the belief that you have to have it all figured out. Right now, in this moment, you are enough. Your worth is not something to earn or prove. It's something you were born with. It's sacred, untouched by your mistakes, unshaken by your past. It's still there, waiting for you to remember it. You are allowed to grieve. You are allowed to heal at your own pace. But don't forget, every day you wake up, every breath you take is proof that life is still flowing through you. The universe has not given up on you. And you must not give up on yourself. There will be days when you feel tired, when you doubt the path, when your heart feels too heavy to carry. But even on those days, you are becoming more intuitive, more aware, more compassionate. And one day when you least expect it, you will look back and realize how far you've come. You'll see the strength you built in the quiet, the love you grew for yourself in the shadows, and you'll understand it was all part of the journey. So take a deep breath, put your hand over your heart, whisper to yourself, I am not broken, I am becoming all that I am meant to be, becoming someone who can love again, trust again, live fully again. You are in process, you are in progress, and you are in perfect alignment with the healing that is meant for you. Trust the journey. Embrace the becoming, because the most beautiful version of you is emerging. And nothing is more powerful than someone who remembers their own light. The past is a part of your story, but it is not the whole story. It is not your identity. It is not your destiny. It is not a life sentence you are condemned to carry forever. The past is a chapter, one of many, and just like a chapter in a book, it can be closed, revisited for wisdom, and ultimately left behind as you turn the page towards something new. You may have made mistakes, you may have trusted the wrong people, you may have stayed too long or spoken too little, you may have lost years in fear, silence, or survival mode, but none of that defines you. What happened then was real, but you are not trapped in it unless you choose to relive it. You are not the same person you were back then. You are wiser now, you see things differently, and that's something to honor, not to regret. There is nothing wrong with remembering the past. It shaped you, it taught you, but there is a great difference between remembering and reliving, between reflecting and recreating. Some people replay their past like a broken record, keeping themselves in an emotional prison of guilt, shame, or anger, but you have the power to stop the replay. You can say, that was then. This is now. You are not that hurt child. You are not that broken heart. You are not that moment when you lost your way. You are more. You are becoming more every single day. Just as you would not judge an entire book by one chapter, do not judge your whole life by one season. Maybe it was a painful one. Maybe it was full of sorrow or confusion. But even painful chapters serve a purpose. They introduce you to new truths. They strip away the false and make room for the real. They test your strength, and in doing so, reveal it. You do not need to carry the weight of the past on your shoulders anymore. You can gently put it down. You can thank it for what it taught you and release it with love. You can choose to remember the lesson without keeping the pain alive. Healing doesn't mean forgetting. It means releasing the hold that memory has over your current reality. Sometimes we hold on to the past because it feels safer than the unknown. Even if it was painful, it was familiar. But you were never meant to stay stuck. You were never meant to replay the same storyline again and again. You were meant to grow, to evolve, to rise. And rising means letting go. Not with bitterness, but with grace. It is not too late to begin again. It is not too late to become the person you were always meant to be. You do not need permission. You do not need approval. All you need is the willingness to believe that your life can still unfold in beautiful, unexpected ways. No matter what has happened, you are allowed to dream again. You are writing a new chapter right now with every choice you make, every thought you entertain, every word you speak. Choose words that lift you. Choose thoughts that heal you. Choose actions that honor the person you are becoming. Your future is not written in stone. It is written in the present moment, one breath at a time. You can look at the past without shame. You can say, yes, that happened. Yes, I lived through it. And yes, I'm still standing. That is strength. That is courage. That is triumph. Do not diminish your journey just because it wasn't perfect. The most powerful people are often those who have endured, who have fallen and risen not once but many times. Let today be the day you stop being a prisoner of your past. Let today be the day you start living with a new perspective, one that says, I am free, I am new, I am not my pain, I am not my regret, I am not my trauma, I am a divine soul learning and evolving, doing the best I can with what I have. And that is more than enough. You are allowed to tell a new story. You are allowed to rewrite the narrative. You are allowed to let your past be a chapter, a meaningful one, perhaps even a painful one, but not the whole book. You are the author now. You hold the pen. You choose what happens next. So breathe in this truth. The past is over. It cannot be changed. But your future is wide open, and the only thing standing between the pain of yesterday and the joy of tomorrow is the decision you make today to turn the page. And what a beautiful page it can be. Everything begins with a thought, the life you desire, the healing you seek, the confidence you wish to reclaim. It all starts in the invisible space of the mind. One new thought can change the entire direction of your life. That is how powerful you are. That is how powerful your mind is. Your comeback doesn't start with applause or recognition. It doesn't begin with someone finally seeing your worth or life handing you a miracle. It starts when you decide to see yourself differently. It begins the moment you say, I am ready for more. It begins with a shift in consciousness, a choice to no longer believe the old lies about yourself, the lies that say you're too late, too damaged, too broken, too far gone. None of that is true. What's true is this: you are one thought away from a new life. Maybe you've been through seasons that strip you down. Maybe the past left you weary, doubtful, or discouraged. That's okay. We all have chapters we don't read out loud. But even in those moments, life was not abandoning you. It was preparing you. Sometimes the breakdown is a prelude to the breakthrough. And every great comeback story begins with a decision to no longer think the same way. You are not your past thoughts. You are not the limitations you once accepted as truth. You are not the opinions of others or the judgments of the world. You are a soul capable of choosing again. Right now, you can choose a new thought. You can say to yourself, I am worthy of peace. I am worthy of joy. I am worthy of starting again. You may not see the full path yet. You may not know how it will all come together. But the first step is always internal. It's the thought that whispers, I'm not staying here. There's more for me. That one gentle affirmation can begin to move mountains within you. Your mind is a garden. If you've been planting seeds of doubt, fear, or regret, that's what you've seen bloom. But you can plant something new today. You can sow thoughts of love, confidence, forgiveness, and resilience. And in time, those seeds will grow into a new reality, a new energy, a new chapter. One thought, I am healing. One thought, I forgive myself. One thought, I choose peace. One thought, this is not the end of my story. Don't underestimate the quiet power of inner change. While the world is looking for external proof, you are doing the sacred work within. Changing how you think about yourself, speaking to yourself more kindly, interrupting patterns that have held you hostage. These are not small things. They are the foundation of transformation. Your mind may try to resist at first. It may remind you of all the times things didn't work out. It may point to the pain, the rejection, the failures. But remember this, your mind can be trained. You are not a slave to your old thoughts. You are the thinker behind the thoughts, and you have the power to redirect them at any moment. Don't wait for everything to feel perfect. Don't wait until you're completely ready. Begin with one thought, a thought that feels true, a thought that feels like a breath of fresh air. Maybe it's simply, I am open to change. That's enough. That's the spark. The comeback is not about proving anything. It's about reclaiming your peace. It's about rediscovering your joy. It's about coming home to the truth that you were never truly lost. You were just asleep to your own power. But now you are remembering. Give yourself grace as you begin again. There's no need to rush. There's no need to fix everything overnight. Let each new thought be a gentle step in the right direction. And if you fall back into old patterns, don't punish yourself. Just notice, breathe, choose again. This is your time, not because someone said so, not because life suddenly got easier, but because you decided to think differently, because you chose a new thought. That one decision is enough to set everything into motion. You are allowed to be powerful. You are allowed to feel worthy. You are allowed to believe in miracles. They start from within. They start when you say, I deserve to feel good again. When you say, I am not my past. When you say, my future begins today. So take a moment now. Close your eyes. Put your hand over your heart and say to yourself, my comeback begins with me, with this thought, with this breath. I am becoming. I am rising. I am ready. There is a voice within you that is always listening. It hears every word you speak, whether spoken aloud or silently repeated in your thoughts. And those words are not powerless. They are seeds. Each word you speak to yourself is a seed that takes root in the garden of your soul. Some words grow into love, strength, and peace. Others grow into fear, shame, and self-doubt. What you speak into yourself, you begin to believe. What you believe, you begin to live. You are with yourself more than anyone else on this earth. You hear your inner voice louder than any outside opinion. So ask yourself gently, what have I been speaking into myself? Have you been lifting yourself with kindness or tearing yourself down with criticism? Have you spoken words of faith or words of fear? Have you told yourself you're capable or convinced yourself you're not enough? Now is the moment to become more intentional. Now is the time to speak life into yourself. Softly, gently, consistently. You do not need to wait for others to validate you. You do not need the world to see your worth before you speak it into being. You are allowed to become your own encourager. You are allowed to be the voice of healing, hope, and truth for yourself. Speak life into your heart when it feels weary. Say, I am allowed to rest. I am not weak for needing time. I am allowed to feel, and I am still strong. Speak life into your mind when it is flooded with doubt. Say, I may not have all the answers, but I trust myself to learn, to grow, to rise again. Speak life into your body when you feel insecure or critical. Say, thank you, body, for carrying me through every hard day. I choose to honor you now. These are not just nice words. These are words of transformation, words with energy, words with power. Your cells respond to the vibration of your voice. Your nervous system softens when you choose gentleness over judgment. The more you speak life into yourself, the more alive you begin to feel. You were not born to be at war with yourself. You were not created to criticize your every flaw or relive your every mistake. You are not here to suffer under the weight of your own voice. You are here to thrive, to evolve, to be a home to your own spirit. And for that to happen, you must speak life. You must speak love. You must speak light. Even if your past was filled with negativity or neglect, you can start a new pattern today. You can say, that may have been how I was treated, but it's not how I will treat myself. I will be the one who breaks the cycle. Maybe no one taught you how to speak kindly to yourself. Maybe the words you absorbed were harsh, impatient, or unloving. But you are not stuck in those old patterns. You are conscious now. You are awake. You are the author of the next chapter. And with every new word you speak to yourself, you are rewriting the story. You don't have to be perfect to speak life. You don't need to have it all figured out. You can speak life even while you're still healing, even while you're unsure, especially in those moments. Because your soul listens the most when you're in pain. When you look in the mirror and say, I am proud of who I am becoming, your reflection begins to change, not in appearance, but in energy. You begin to glow with inner peace. You begin to feel safe within your own presence. That is true beauty. That is real strength. You may not control every situation in life, but you can always choose your words. Speak them with care. Speak them with love. Speak them like your life depends on them, because in many ways it does. Affirm your resilience. I've been through so much, and I'm still standing. I am stronger than I thought. Affirm your value. I matter. I am enough. I don't need to prove anything to anyone. Affirm your peace. I release the need to carry what's too heavy. I choose calm and clarity. Affirm your future. My best days are not behind me. They are still unfolding before me. Speak life into yourself every day, in the morning, in the quiet moments, and especially in the dark ones. Become the voice that heals, not the voice that harms. Because when you change how you speak to yourself, you change how you walk into the world. So let the words you speak be your medicine. Let them lift you when you are low. Let them remind you of who you are when you forget. Let them be the bridge between the life you've known and the life you are creating. You are not too far gone. You are not broken beyond repair. You are blooming. You are rising. And your own words will carry you home. Speak life. Speak truth. Speak love. Forgiveness is not about letting someone else off the hook. It's not about excusing the pain they caused or pretending it didn't hurt. Forgiveness is about freeing yourself. It is about releasing the heavy burden you've been carrying in your heart, one that has kept your spirit tied down for far too long. You don't forgive because they deserve it. You forgive because you deserve peace. You forgive so you can fly. When you hold on to resentment, you hold on to the wound. You replay the betrayal. You relive the offense. And without realizing it, you allow the pain of the past to rob you of your present peace and future joy. You stay stuck in a cycle that was never meant to be your home. The chains may be invisible, but they are real. And every time you replay that memory, speak about the hurt, or allow bitterness to fester, those chains grow tighter. But here's the truth. What happened may have shaped you, but it does not define you. The pain was real, yes, but so is your power to release it. Forgiveness is not weakness. Forgiveness is the ultimate strength. It is saying, I choose freedom. I choose peace. I choose myself. Because your heart was not designed to carry hatred. Your soul was not meant to dwell in resentment. You are meant to soar. Forgiveness is a gift you give to yourself. It's a decision to no longer let the past poison your present. It's a conscious act of reclaiming your energy. When you forgive, you reclaim your joy, your clarity, your softness, and your strength. You step back into your power, because no one, no matter how deeply they hurt you, deserves to live rent-free in your mind. You may think, but if I forgive them, it means what they did was okay. No. It means that you will no longer let their actions dictate your future. Forgiveness does not mean reconciliation. It does not mean you have to allow them back into your life. You can forgive and still walk away. You can forgive and never speak to them again. Forgiveness is for you, not for them. Sometimes the person we most need to forgive is ourselves. For the times we stayed too long, for the times we didn't speak up, for the things we did while we were hurting, for the moments we weren't yet wise enough to choose better. Be gentle with yourself. You were doing the best you could with what you knew at the time. And now, you know more. You've grown, you've awakened, and you are allowed to begin again. Let go of the shame, let go of the guilt, let go of the voice that says you should have known better. You are learning, evolving, expanding. You don't have to be perfect to be worthy of your own forgiveness. Say to yourself, I forgive myself for the times I forgot my worth. I am human and I am healing. Forgiveness doesn't always happen in an instant. Sometimes it comes in layers. Sometimes it's a choice you have to make again and again. But every time you choose to release instead of resent, you grow lighter. Every time you affirm peace over pain, your wings begin to spread. You begin to rise. This is your time to heal. This is your season to let go. You do not have to keep carrying that burden into every new day. You are allowed to leave it behind. You are allowed to say, I release this, not because it didn't matter, but because I matter more. Your soul wants to fly. It wants to create, love, dream, and dance freely again. But it cannot do so while it's weighed down by yesterday's wounds. It needs you to open the door, to cut the cords, to let go of the anchors. And when you do, you'll feel it. The lightness, the clarity, the freedom that comes from finally choosing yourself. So breathe deeply, exhale the bitterness, let your heart soften, let your spirit rise. Say it softly or say it loudly, but say it with truth. I forgive so I can fly. I forgive so I can live. You are not meant to stay grounded in sorrow. You are meant to ascend. And as you do, you'll see the world differently. You'll begin to feel more joy, more peace. Not because everything is perfect, but because you chose to be free. Let today be the day you choose to release. Let today be the day you cut the ties to what no longer serves you. Let today be the day you say, I am ready to soar. Forgive, not for them, for you, for your heart, for your future. You are allowed to begin again, not with pressure, not with shame, but with love. Life is not a straight line, and you are not behind. You are exactly where you need to be to learn, to grow, and to choose again. Every sunrise is proof that life gives you another chance, not to be perfect, but to be present, to be kind to yourself, and to create something new with the tools you have today. There is no expiration date on healing. There is no deadline for transformation. You are not late. You have not failed. You are unfolding like a flower that knows exactly when it is time to bloom. And maybe, just maybe, the delay was divine. Maybe the detours have made your heart deeper, your spirit stronger, and your vision clearer. So let go of the rush, let go of the weight of shoulds and timelines. Begin again, but this time choose to do it with softness. You don't need to pressure yourself to have everything figured out by a certain age, date, or season. Growth is not a race. It's not a competition. Your path is sacred, and it's yours alone. When you stop comparing your journey to others, you begin to hear your own soul speak. And it speaks in whispers, not demands. It invites you gently back to your center, reminding you that every step you take with intention and compassion is a victory. Start small. Start wherever you are. You do not need a grand plan or a dramatic change. You just need one new thought, one new decision, one new belief that honors where you are while reaching for where you want to go. Say to yourself, I am not broken, I am becoming. And in that becoming, give yourself space to breathe, to explore, and to stumble with grace. Let your new beginning be rooted in love. Let it be fueled by curiosity, not criticism. There is nothing wrong with you. You are not behind because you're healing, resting, or starting over. In fact, that's the most courageous thing you can do. To begin again when the world says you should have given up is an act of radical self-love. This is your permission to let go of the version of you that no longer feels true. The one who tried to meet everyone's expectations, the one who carried guilt that didn't belong to them, the one who dimmed their light to make others comfortable. You don't have to carry that identity anymore. You are not your past. You are not your mistakes. You are not your pain. You are a soul in motion, and you get to choose a new direction at any time. So instead of waking up with a heavy list of demands, wake up with a question. What would love do today? Love might tell you to rest. Love might tell you to set a boundary. Love might invite you to dream again, to write something, to try something new, to call someone who makes you feel alive. Let love be your compass, not pressure. Let love guide your rebirth. If you've fallen, that's okay. If you've stopped, that's okay too. Every pause carries wisdom. Every silence offers space for reflection. And every setback holds the potential to become a setup for something greater. Begin again, not because you're supposed to be further along, but because you believe in your own becoming. You don't have to be perfect to be powerful. You don't have to be confident to start. You just have to be willing to show up for yourself day by day, breath by breath, step by step. And when fear creeps in, whisper back, I choose love, I choose peace, I choose me. Celebrate the small wins. Celebrate your courage to keep going. Celebrate your willingness to begin again with an open heart. Every time you choose love over pressure, you build a life that honors your truth instead of punishing your pace. And that kind of life is worth waking up for. So today, no matter how many times you've had to start over, give yourself grace. Hold your heart gently. Offer yourself encouragement the way you would a dear friend. Speak words that heal, not harm. And walk forward with the quiet knowing that beginning again doesn't mean you failed. It means you're brave enough to try. This moment is yours. This breath is your clean slate. This day is your chance to rise, not with force, but with faith. Begin again with love, not pressure, and trust that something beautiful is already on its way.